Icon Radio, your number one entertainment plug.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to Conversations That Inspire Greatness, a show that brings you stories of young people who are doing amazing things out there in the society. There are young people cutting across from the political fields, the social field, the economics field, businesses, young people in businesses, young people who are just doing amazing things, whose stories are here to inspire you. And basically, we are having with them conversations that inspire greatness. Now, we all know that this is an electioneering year. This is the year that young people come out and say hatupangwingwi. This is the year they come out and talk about how involved or uninvolved they are. And today we are talking to a young person who is involving the young people from a capacity that will get you excited to know what exactly they do. I'm talking to Joel Mwita Chacha, who is the chairperson of the IEBC Youth Coordinating Committee. He will tell us more about what this committee does. But before we even get into what the committee does, I'd like us to just allow him the chance to tell us who he is. I might have introduced him as the chairperson of the IEBC Youth Coordinating Committee. Na kumbe mahali pengine yeye ni mheshimiwa, you know. So Joel Mwita, please take it over and just tell us, who are you, what other titles do you hold, and what exactly do you do at the IEBC Youth Coordinating Committee?
Yes, thank you so much, Ruth. Ruth, you've been my friend for long, and
Yes.
we've been doing this work together.
Yes.
So maybe for the people who don't know me, my name is Joel Mwita. I'm the chairperson of IEBC Youth Coordinating Committee, a committee that ensures that young people are highly involved in the electoral processes. So we help even the commission to stimulate the kind of activities they're implementing, the kind of policies they're putting in place to ensure that young people are included. Even now, when it comes to voter education, the kind of messages that is coming outside there, so that it can be as well be youth friendly and youth can understand it very well. On other field, I'm also working with an organization called Universities and Colleges Student Peace Association of Kenya.
Yes.
An organization that brings together university students to promote peace and good governance in our society. Lastly, I'm also the Chief Operations Officer for Wanafunzi Investment Unit Trust Fund. This particular fund calculates the culture of saving among young people, so that a student, when he goes to first year, either in a college or a TVET, he starts saving, so that by the time he finishes fourth year or the final year in a TVET, he has already had some saving that he can start life with, you know, so that we really don't need to tarmac so much, but you can use the small shillings that you've been having, the help you get, you also save, so that by the time you are finishing school,
you can even start a business.
Exactly. And it also brings you a culture of saving, because people are saying, even for the grown-ups, if you can't save, you can't invest. So if we start this culture earlier, that whatever you are getting, it is not everything that you'll be able to consume, but at least you save so that it can be helpful for you, even in your investments, in your future plans, could be the best thing for the young people of this Republic of Kenya. So I think this is something that we really need to take up as young people and involve ourselves. I'm an alumni of 3 universities.
Hey, you don't say.
I did my degree in Maseno University. I did accounting in Strathmore University. Now my MBA in University of Nairobi.
And then you will also think about going out of the country at some point. You have to.
I've done mediation in Netherlands.
Hey,
so
okay.
Good.
Wow, this is quite a CV. And I think for me, I'd want to just dwell on, before we even get onto the IEBC Youth Coordinating Committee, which will form the bulk of our discussion today, I want to know, what's the story behind USPAC, the Universities and Colleges Peace Association of Kenya? Because I know that I've been involved in some of the activities, and I think there's the story behind it is something that people need to know. Personally, I know it, but I'd like to just bring it out from your perspective as as the SG of this USPAC. What does it do, and where did it emanate from?
Yeah, so in 2015, I was a student at Maseno University doing my development studies. In April the same year, there was this very unfortunate incident that happened in Garissa, the Garissa terror attack, whereby were able to lose a lot of young people.
Yeah, was it like 157? Yes.
Yes, young people lost their lives. And we said, as in, we can't continue having this kind of a conversation. You know, like by that time, so many young people had joined terror groups and what.
Yeah. And we were having quite a lot of terrorist activities happening in the country.
Exactly.
Yes.
You know, we were even afraid when you even board a matatu going to Isli before even it reaches Isli. You know?
Yeah.
So it was so chaotic. And you could see the kind of people who were involved in such kind of acts were university students, young people.
Yeah.
You know, the person who was involved in the Garissa was a law student from the University of Nairobi.
Yeah. Very brilliant.
Very bright people.
Yes,
you know?
yes.
So we said, as young people, we need to take action. This is our country and we need to protect it, you know. So we started coming together, different university student leaders.
Yes.
And then when you know, nilisomea mashambani
huko Shago.
Maseno, karibu na Rwanda.
Yes.
So for you to tengeneza vitu lazima kuwe na network capital city.
Yes.
So by that time there was a very good friend of mine, and he was the chair of Mount Kenya, Alan. So we started now bringing together university student leaders and telling them now we need to promote peace, we need to de-radicalize.
Yes.
So we came up with a campaign called Zero Radicalization Campaign, which we were running in institutions of higher learning, and then we're good, whereby Kaiseri introduced us to Joseph Irungu. Joseph Irungu was by then the Secretary Internal Security. So Joseph Irungu introduced us to the National Counterterrorism Center, whereby now we started getting mentorship and then now doing activity together. So this was a very very good opportunity for us also to interact with government officials, you know, different young people across the country who were able to do a lot of things and even developed a curriculum dubbed as Learning to Live Together. So as everyone, and we did a TOT at Tangaza University. But now we said we cannot be running a campaign on a daily basis. Let's come up with something that even when we are not there, it will continue to sustain itself. So we now registered the organization called Universities and Colleges Student Peace Association of Kenya. Since then, it has been doing amazing work. We've been doing a lot of things. We've been running campaign, trying to encourage young people participating in the election process. In 2017, you remember we ran a campaign called Changamkia.
Yes, I was part of it.
Yes. And then
was it 2017 or
2016
yeah,
to
2017. Yes.
When we were doing the election, and I remember you were in charge of Strathmore University na zile universities wazito hapo. You know. So we are very grateful. We did a lot of work whereby very many young people were able to come together and rally their fellow to come register and also participate in the election. And then in 2018, we were also able to, as well, even during what we were telling them to go and participate in the election, we're also telling them to participate in this election in a very peaceful way. They love each other. And I think with our effort, Ruth, we couldn't see chaos in the university.
Yes, for sure. Those were some of the results of the work that you did.
And we are planning to do more even this year now that we are even in position of power.
Of power. I like how you say it with so much confidence. Well, before we get into what you plan to do and everything else about how you plan to engage the young people, remember to tune in to our station, which is Icon Radio KE, on all platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, on YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to get more content. We not only have this show Vijana Vital Voices, but we have other shows. We have political shows, we have entertainment, we have music shows. So tune in and just listen in to what we do here at Icon Radio and get to interact with our various hosts and various analysts of different shows. So before we get into the meat of the discussion. I want us to take a short music break, and we'll come back to just talk to Joel and get to know more about what they're planning to do with the IEBC Youth Coordinating Committee. Where did the concept of the IEBC Youth Coordinating Committee come from, and how is it constituted, and what have they been able to do so far? Stay tuned.
Icon Radio.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are having a conversation today about the engagement of young people in the democratic processes, in conversations that get them to, just be agents of change in the society. And we are talking to Joel Muita, who has been at the forefront of engaging young people, not just now, but he started way back when he was still a student leader at Maseno University. He's told us about his journey at Youth Park, engaging the youth on de-radicalization processes. And before we went to the break, we were talking about how what are some of the challenges that he has faced. But before we talk about those challenges, I just want us to discuss and have a discussion on the IEBC Youth Coordinating Committee. We had the appointment of IEBC commissioners, and I remember that, Joel, you put up a very spirited fight when it came to, wanting to be one of the commissioners. In fact, we held pressers for you. We were there supporting one of our own. What happened? We were very hopeful. We put up a spirited fight. When IEBC was looking for new commissioners, they were filling the 4 positions. Tell us what sparked your interest to become a commissioner?
Yes, you see, number one, I've always said that in this Republic of Kenya, that young people cannot be put as a special interest group. Yeah. We are the majority. In fact, the old you should be the one forming a caucus of the special interest group.
Yes.
Yeah. So, in anything, if anything is to say here, is that we have what it takes to even take the leadership of this Republic of Kenya. And we won't be surprised, 10 years to come, this caucus of ours will be producing the next president of this Republic of Kenya.
Yes.
So in matters of seeing how the government is being run, how the institutions are being run, then we must take part in ensuring that we are part and parcel of the top leadership, Yes, so, and that is why, I threw myself.
Yeah, you were like, Bana, what's there to lose?
I've not lost anything.
Yeah,
I've gained.
If anything, you have gained.
Yeah.
Yes.
So and we for sure we had what it takes for us to be in those kind of position. We have experience.
Yes.
We've done election causes. We've done election work.
Yeah, we've actually mobilized young people across the country. We've engaged with them.
Exactly.
And IBC keeps complaining of how they don't know how to engage the youth, Yeah.
So we thought it was a good move.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful for the young people, both from UDA, Azmio.
Yeah, we put aside our political differences.
And then you really supported me. So that one tells me that young people by themselves, we have enough problems than even for our party leaders.
Yes.
So when it comes to the interest of the young people, we really need to come together to each other and support each other. This narrative of when you see a young fellow, you start now telling one person that this is what, no, it won't be able to help us and will not be able to move forward.
When you fight your own.
Yes. You see, when the old appointed their fellow old people who fought for independence, and you're trying to fight your fellow person who doesn't have even a rent.
Yeah.
So
I
think we are not doing best for ourselves. But I say, it is not all the young people who really fight for each other, but there are people who really put their effort to ensure that the effort of other young people are really uplifted. And I'm very grateful even for your work, how you really support the young people.
Yeah.
So in this kind of thing, we saw it, like even by us doing so, the IEBC realized that youth is a very critical voice that should not be left aside. And the commissioners had to come together and say that we really need to establish a youth coordinating committee, which will be chaired by a young person.
Wait a minute. Did they get a youth committee, a member, a youth commissioner?
Yeah, no. But now,
Now they were like,
there is something like we say that there is some hope.
Yes,
because
yes.
all the committees in IEBC are chaired by commissioners.
Yes.
This is our only committee which is not being chaired by a commissioner. which we are very grateful.
Yeah.
By
At least there's a platform.
There is a platform.
A platform was created as a result of whatever happened, the failure to have a youth commissioner.
Exactly.
Yes.
Now we have a youth committee, which is made by youth serving organizations.
Yes.
For example, now my deputy is Njeru for the
Siasa Place. Yes.
We have secretary from Youth Cafe. We have Liaison from the African Youth Trust. We have another organization run for office,
yes.
partnership and mobilization. So it is all encompassed, and then we have more than 60 organizations as members, and I'm working to ensure that we extend this so that in every county we have a caucus and also a lead organization to ensure that dissemination of information reaches all the youth of this Republic of Kenya. And I've been getting a lot of support from the commissioners and the secretariat, whereby the things that we need as young people have been able to be provided and to us. Then I even yesterday I was speaking to a caucus of youth leaders at Sankara, and I told them it is up to us to ensure that we participate in this. Now we cannot complain anymore, because for the things that you need, if you want the schedule of the movement of the kids, I'll be able to provide them to you. If you want something from the commission, I'll be able to provide them to you. So you have already been given a link, a person you can access 24 hours. We usually talk when we were implementing Changamuka. You remember, Ruth?
We would stay up even late at night, planning how the activities would eventually turn out.
So we don't have a lot of responsibility. Our grandchildren are asking for school fees or what. Our main objective is young people, and that is our business.
Yes.
So I'm thinking we are going to do better, and there is a bright future for the young people. And we even say, everything a young person sees, there is a story behind it. Things do not just happen.
Exactly.
When you see Ruth Ambogo in K24, in Citizen, in Icon Radio, doing all this amazing work, there is some sacrifices he has done before.
There's something driving, something that pushes you to get there. Yes.
You see,
and I think for us, that's what we want to get from you, Joel. What for you? What is it? What's that one thing that pushes you? What's the drive? Why are you so passionate about young people?
I think because of where I come from and where I've
Tell us
seen,
about that.
The young people really get into depression. The young people going to drugs, and really their life has been spoiled because they have actually lacked motivation. People have become so busy for their life and have forgotten this particular generation, this is very true, Ruth, that 10, 20 years from now, it is the young people who will be taking the leadership of this country.
Yes.
I know very well that 20 years from now, Baba will not be able to articulate the issues we are articulating now.
He probably will not be around. Let's be real with ourselves. I mean, by the grace of God, we pray that he will be there. But
so
nature,
Yes. So once, if this particular generation is not well
groomed and groomed,
then we'll have a terrible country 20 years to come. A country that has lost hope, the majority of people. Now we are majority.
Yes.
But I'm telling you, 20 years to come, we'll have a majority of old people. And you see, young people do not want to give birth. They don't want to get married.
Yes.
I think things are going to be tough for this republic if we don't talk about
I hope you're not part
issues.
of the problem.
No. So we really need to ensure that whatever thing that we are doing now, which is like 20 years to come,
Yes.
what will be happening to this republic? Who will be leading?
Who will be at the helm of leadership?
Yes.
Yes.
Is this kind of people we are seeing will be the PSS and the CSS? We need to stop some of the behaviors that we do. Hii mambo ya town ya kuoshana, it needs to end as young people,
Yes.
So, and why I'm really coming out to urge my fellow young people is there is much more in what we do now that will determine what our country will be in future, and you can see the likes of Tomboy at the age of 20, what they were able to do. In fact, if you read some of their books, Tomboy really contributed to the negotiation of even how the country got independence, and they were very respectful young people who have intellectual, people who could talk and people listen,
people who had ideology.
People who had ideology, irrespective of the places where people who had respect to the elders, So I think there is a need for us as young people to see on how we are going to engage. Some things we tunapiga kelele, we close even the doors which could be open. So that is why I'm saying I need you to come out and also help my fellow young people. When we were starting Newspark, I remember when I left Maseno, now graduating, coming to now Nairobi now to stay, because I was really volunteering with ACCA Kenya. The country director actually called me a night when I was finishing my exam. By the way, Joel, hujai maliza exam? Nikamwambia namaliza leo siku. Akaniambia unataka kuanza kazi lini? Nikamwambia nitaanza kazi kesho kutwa. Akaniambia come to the office. And that is how I got in my first employment.
Out of volunteering.
And I had volunteered for 4 years without being paid. But now, when I was getting out of the university, I got the first employment, which they used to give me around 70,000. My first job, that is net. And then, you see, the people who were laughing at me when I was volunteering, they were tamaking till they started moraming, So things were very difficult for them, They
were tamaking until they started moraming?
And then, when it reached like my interest for the young people was really high, and I thought like USPA could be the venue and avenue where I could also get more young people. I had to resign. And we continue working with Alan to ensure that USPAC is at par with other organizations. And I resigned a job where my salary had gone more better than what I told you.
Just to build an organization.
An organization which I was getting zero amount of share. I didn't know it. I remember when we were doing Garissa Memorial, the first Garissa Memorial in 2016, April. We did that particular activity. I remember paying for victims from the Moi University where they were taken to Nairobi using my money, not donors' money, because I love this Republic of Kenya, And you see, these are things that also my fellow young people need to learn.
Sacrifice.
When you are building something, as in there are a lot of things that you need to sacrifice. There are a lot of places that you'll avoid going because the small shillings that you are going to spend there,
you have to save for what you want to do.
So I'm thinking that the young people need to be told these stories and be told that there is a lot of sacrifice. Na waache tu kufikiria hizi kila kitu tu utatoka tu shuleni uanze kutembelea hapa na unatembea
ukiimba tu pangwingwi. Please allow me to take a break on that. On the note that sacrifice is everything, on the fact that we have to ask ourselves, as Joel has said, 20 years from now, what kind of nation are we going to live what kind of nation will we be leading? What kind of people will be at the helm of leadership without proper mentorship leadership, without proper guidance, without proper direction, what kind of leaders will we have 20 years from now? Because that is what Joel's concern is. And he says sacrifice is everything, that you have to get to a point where you will have to forgo certain things just to achieve a particular goal in life. So allow me to just take a short music break. Remember to tune in to Icon Radio KE on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, on YouTube, Icon Radio KE. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to listen to more content that we have. And also just remember this is the show, Vijana Vital Voices show. Remember to tune in every Thursday from 2 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. where we bring you conversations that inspire greatness with young people, amazing young people in this country. But then Joel, saa zingine mushanga listeners wangu wananiangalia wanaona niko na network. You know, I am very well connected. So let's take that music break.
Icon Radio.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are coming to the final part of our conversation today with Joel Mwita, who is the chairperson of the IEBC Youth Coordinating Committee. Now, Joel, there has been a lot of talk about some of the challenges that are there when it comes to working with young people. You know, that maybe people talk about how they are ungovernable, they don't listen. Sometimes there's jealousy that comes in when you're working with the young people. What has been your experience in terms of the challenges that you have faced working with young people all these years? I don't know if I've contributed to part of the challenges during your days during Youth Spark, but I just want to know what are some of those challenges you faced while working with the youth?
Yeah, as in dealing with that Pangwingu generation is also has also its own dynamics.
Yes,
yeah?
yes.
And also people do not understand us.
Yes.
We are good, and at one point we also not very good.
Yes.
We have our own challenges. Number one, what I would want to say is they want things to be done the way they want to be done. As in, like, kama mimi nataka Ruth. Hata siku hizi hata kutongoza msichana unamforce unamwambia
yes.
Kama unitaki nitakutupa hapa chini ya floor, you know.
Yeah, which is unfortunate.
Which is very unfortunate.
Yeah.
And we really need to ensure that young people really understand this world has changed.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
There are a lot of things that need to be done in a very effective way.
Consensus building.
Yes. There's an approach that you need to, as in we've taken like this life like an activism.
Everything is about activism.
Everything is
haki
about
yangu.
Yes.
Yes.
Like there are some things whereby you go with that particular narrative, then the door is just closed.
Yes, right on your face.
Exactly.
Yes.
So mimi kitu ambacho mimi ningependa kuambia vijana, lazima tukue professional kidogo.
Yes.
And the biggest headache with young people is complaining. I went to Baringo.
Yes.
In Tiati.
Yes, Tiati, uko east uko, where there's no water, nothing.
Exactly.
Yes.
So when we were doing a conference and we were talking with young people, they were saying, nyinyi hata siku amtuletea activities mnazipelekaga tu huko Nairobi.
Now you've already brought the activity. The activity is there.
Exactly.
Yes.
So nikamaliza huko nikakuja mkutano mwingine hapa KICD whereby I brought young people from Kibra, wapi wote wakusanyike hapo so that we could plan on how we are going out to those areas. Hao vijana wamefika wanasema hii mkutano mnaifanyaga tu hapa CBD amkudi. Like seriously nashindwa watu wanasema tunaleta Nairobi tukileta Nairobi
wanasema tunaleta CBD
huko
maeria posh
kama hoteli.
Sasa na watu wako na madigrii
wanaongea kizungu mingi, I don't know why people have so much hate with people speaking English.
Yeah, I know.
And that is the language being spoken at the parliament.
Yes,
but we don't know. As in, we really need to ensure that this kind of narrative changes.
Yeah.
People come up with solutions,
as opposed to complaining.
As opposed to complaints.
Yeah.
And I've seen it so much with young people.
Yeah.
Number two, young people are very energetic. That is for sure. They have the energy and they have the will.
Yeah.
I think it is an issue of attitude which needs to be tuned kidogo. And maybe for our mentors, as in, please just come up, identify young people that you need to mentor, anza kukua nao kidogo. When I see Ruth, with the first lady, you know, I become happy because I'm seeing she's getting mentorship from the right people.
Yes,
you know?
yes.
So and this is a responsibility of both the old generation and the young generation, that we must coexist. As in, no one can live without the other.
Yes.
You know, so the sooner we accept this narrative,
The
and the
better
young
for us.
people also to accept changes and also accept correction. You know,
Yeah.
people who give excuses, those are the worst people to work with.
Yeah.
I can tell you, you know, everything you tell him, mbona umechelewa, anakwambia venye jamu ilikuwa.
Yes, yes.
mbona
Why did you
hujafanya
turn up
hivi?
for work today?
Simu
Mvua
ilizima.
ilinyesha.
Eti alamu haikupiga, you know.
I remember dealing with someone, actually, as we almost come to an end, I remember dealing with someone and she wanted some advice from me. She was vying for a seat. So we planned for a meeting. She kept postponing and pushing. One day I asked her, so why are you pushing the meeting today? Unajua mvua imeanza, season ya mvua imeanza. So I asked myself, so when it is raining, you can't show up for meetings because it is raining. You know, it's just crazy.
Yeah. This is the Sipangungu generation.
Yes.
So we have to understand them and then tuwakoze tu hivi kidogo kidogo.
Yeah.
Lastly, what I would want to say for the young people, that we don't choose leaders, we choose representatives.
Yes,
You know?
yes.
Leaders just crop up and God gives them the opportunity to ensure that they have led us, you know. But we choose representatives. Now, in August 9th, the people who will come out in county assembly, national assembly, and the national government, that is our president and the deputy president, it will be a reflection of the people who have chosen them.
Yes.
If we choose stupid people, that
Yes,
is the
that is
brightest
us.
out of all the
of us.
stupid people who have chosen
Yes,
him.
yes,
You know,
yes.
if you choose a person who will not speak in parliament and legislate and tell the grievances of the people in their constituencies, then that is the brightest out of those. So waache tu wakae tu hivyo. You know, and young people, why do we want to allow our country to choose bad representatives? And yet we have the power. For now, we have around more than 11 million young people, people
Yes.
below the age of 35, who are in the voter register, who will be voted. And in the second ECVR, we are ensuring that we add at least 2 million young people.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
so in a nutshell, we'll be having around 13 million
Young people.
in the
Yes.
voter register. They can decide who becomes the president. They can decide in
Yeah.
their constituencies
Who
who
becomes
becomes the member of
MCAs.
parliament, the county assembly.
Yes,
you
women
know,
rep.
Women rep.
Yeah.
So it is up to us. And let me tell you, if you allow yourself to be invited in the table of this politician, watakupanga. Na wakikupanga watakwambia enda upige huyu mtu, enda uchape huyu mtu, and utakuwa kibaraka wao.
Yeah.
But if you are a very significant person, wewe mwenyewe ujiingize kwa table, you will be able to make a decision just like
Yes.
what akina Sakaja are doing.
Yes.
You become to the table, you become the chairperson of the party, irrespective of your age.
Yes.
And wewe ndo unaanza kupanga watu.
Yes.
Unaona?
Yes.
Lakini tukisubiria hao watu wamalize kupanga vitu zenye wanapanga, alafu watatuita kwenda kurusha mawe somewhere.
Yeah.
Watatuita kwenda kwa library ya mtu mwingine. Watatuita sisi tuende kutukana watu wengine.
Yeah.
And I want to urge the young people, we are going to a very sensitive kind of an election period.
Yes.
Let's desist from hating on people. Hawa mabazuu wanaongeaga kwa simu, watoto wao hawapigani, and we don't want us young people. Kama wanataka sisi tupigane, waanze wao wapigane, tuwaone kwa TV wakipigana na mama zao na watoto zao.
Yes.
But sisi kama vijana, we cannot continue being used and being used in a bad way.
Yeah. I mean, as I always like to say, as we close the discussion, as I always like to say, if you're not seated at the table, then you're definitely on the menu. And young people, we must find a way. We must find a way, regardless of what challenges we are facing, regardless of the obstacles that are in our way. We must find a way as young people to sit at that table, to avoid being on the menu, to avoid being, as we always say, to avoid kupangwa, so that we are the ones who decide for ourselves what we want. We are the ones who decide for ourselves the direction and the trajectory that our lives will take. with the right kind of leaders. So Joel Mwita, thank you so much for blessing this discussion. As always, this is Vijana Vital Voices, where we have conversations that inspire greatness on Icon Radio KE on all platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and all other social media platforms that do exist. We are available on all those platforms. Find us there, like our channel, subscribe. And by the way, yes, you wanted to say something?
Yes. Sorry, I wanted to say something.
Yes.
Yeah? Just an advice for the young people.
Yes.
That in any activity that you do, just remember to learn from examples and don't agree to be an example so that people can learn from you.
Yes.
You already know the people who used to stone people where they are now.
Yes.
Wengine wako kamiti, wengine walikunywa pombe wakaanguka kwa mtaro wakakufa. Hata yule party leader mwenye alimtuma hakuenda mazishi yake.
Yes.
So don't allow yourself to be part of such kind of
example.
process.
As you've heard it from Joel Mwita, we will close it at that. See you again next week when we shall be having another amazing discussion. Remember to tune in to this discussion every Thursday from 2 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. and you will get not just the conversations but also entertainment, because we are the home of your number one entertainment plug. Asanteni sana.
Icon Radio, your number one entertainment plug.